All right, I'm live. And we have 2 participants.
Well, hello. Look at those. We need one of those screens so that, or a countdown. We'll start in Good morning or afternoon, everybody. We're going to start in about 1 minute. Let folks log on. There's a delay.
Do you want a highlighter or anything? Are you putting in highlighter? Both.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for being online. I am Roger. I'm going to go over the questions that we've gotten so far through the link that was sent out. And then if you have any questions or if any of these questions spark other questions for you, then feel free to put it in the chat and then we will go over them at the end. So first, I'm going to go over the tryout form, and then I'll go over the questions that have been pre-submitted. So a lot of the questions that we've gotten at the office, and then a lot of things have to do specifically with the tryout form. So, but I'll answer every well. So first, the tryout form, which is this is what we're going to go by at tryouts. So in the past, there have been, and this has actually already happened. Sorry, 1 second. I'm going to lift my chair up. This has already happened once so far this year. Is we've had a parent on the phone talking to the office saying the opposite of what was on their form that they had already turned in. So we need to make sure that the form is the accurate representation of what you want your child to be considered for their team. So Allie, I did switch. How do I hit share screen and then
There should be this arrow. And then we can share entire screen and you can share that and share. And we'll go here.
Okay. All right. So as we're looking at this, obviously this is pretty self-explanatory. There is somebody who figured something out, and I'll go over that here. But name, your name, phone number, all that kind of stuff. Do you cheer for school? Where? Circle the position or positions that you are trying out for. I'm trying out as a flyer, and I only want to be a flyer. That's all I want to do. Or I only want to be a back spot, or I'm willing to do anything. So circle, or if you are a side base, a main base, and a back spot, like circle everything that applies. Or would you be willing to accept other positions? So I've always been a side base, but I'm cool to do whatever. I can be main base or side base, then circle yes. If you only want to be a flyer, then only yes, I only want to be a flyer. And that's all that we will consider you for those teams for that level. Circle the level that you're trying out for. That's all the levels. If you are you willing to accept placement on other levels? Yes or no. So as a flyer on level 2, I will not accept another position. This is my personal tryout, by the way. I will not accept another position because I am a really good flyer, even though I'm a little older and not very flexible. I am good in the air. So flyer, only want to be a flyer. Level 2, am I willing to accept a placement on other levels? Yes or no? Yes, because if they need me on a world's team, then I will fill in. I will gladly go to a world's team. Or no, I only want to be on level 2. The next line is a little confusing, and we looked at this for months, and now it should say, if yes, please circle what level. So circle levels that you're trying out for. Level 2, are you willing to accept placement on other levels? Yes. Then I could circle 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever applies there. If you have already turned this in, do not stress. We want to make certain that we have the information that is correct. So either way that we look at it, if you said no, I will not accept another level, and you circled I will accept level 3 and 4, then we would consider them for level 3 and 4 as well. So either way, it'll work. We understand what it means. I understand somebody brought it up for that. That was a good catch. But if we are unable to place you at this level, you will not be placed on a team, and we need the parent's signature there. So the important part here is if you're only going to accept level 2, level 4, whatever it may be, we need to know that. We're not going to talk to the kids about it at tryouts. And so we need to make sure that there is a kitchen table conversation with the person filling out this form and the child cheering. What we have ran into in the past is a lot of kids are willing to cheer wherever they want to, and it's the parents that say they are only going to cheer on a certain level. And so we talk to the kids and they're like, oh yeah, I'll cheer levels X, Y, and Z. And then the parent, we put them on at level X, the parent calls and quits. Why? Well, she's not going to cheer level X. Well, the kid said she would because their coach made a note. We are at tryouts, we are specifically going off of this form. So please make sure that you have the conversation. Everybody in the household is on the same page with this because it could create some uncomfortable Thanksgiving dinners if things are not filled out correctly. So can I switch back to the thing and see?
If you have any questions.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Hopefully this all makes sense here on that part. So, and then the list, all the reasons why you would not accept a team. So again, going back to my personal tryout, I am a flyer. I am not willing to accept another position. I'm trying out for level 2. Yes, I will let y'all put me on a level 3, 4, 5, or 6 team or 4.2, any team that's above that. The only reason I would not accept a team is because I am a good bit older than the youth kids, so I will only take a junior or a senior team or an open team. So that would be a reason. So if the only team that I could make is level 2 youth, then I would not be put on that team. I would not be placed on a team. So there we go. So that's the important part of how this goes. I will also go over this again on the next call that we have, or to make sure that everybody understands this. If at any point between now there is a change of heart, you feel like you messed this up, and my daughter does want to cheer for any level team. She only wants to cheer whichever way it goes. If you feel like that you need to come in and adjust it, come in, see the office, and you've already turned it in, come in, see the office, and then we'll get a new one, and then you can write it out the way that you want to. So just because we will not look at this until actual tryout days, so there is time to change it. So probably if there's going to be significant changes to it, we'll get a fresh one and just can refill out the information. So I'm going to stop sharing this and start going through the questions. All right, I'm going to wait 1 second because I think there's a little bit of a delay to see if anybody has any questions about that, and then we will move on. All right, no questions. Okay, and if there is, feel free to put them in the chat, and then we will go over them here in a few minutes. Okay, so these are the questions that we have got pre-submitted to the call. So here we go. When will the competition schedule be released? We are looking at early June. We have already started working on it. We have about 5 or 6 different options that we've put together that we with different things. There's still a few decisions that we have to make and to decide, and some of those we don't have control over just yet. So we're waiting on some of the competition companies to get some more information, and then we will have that released at the beginning of June. It will not be the exact same schedule as last year. There's definitely going to be some adjustments. So a particular team may have the same schedule, but the program will not have the exact same schedule. If my athlete is trying out for a specific team for the summit teams and does not make that team, will she know prior to team reveal or the day of? So I'm assuming this means that this person is saying that they want to try out for platinum. that's a team that I'm going to use Periwinkle because that's my favorite Summit team. If they're trying out for Periwinkle and they've made it specifically known on that tryout form that they will only accept Periwinkle and they do not make that team, the first email that we send out is "you did not make a team" email. So, and that will have all of the instructions of what to do next if you did not make a team. So that is when they would find out. That's the first email that goes out on the team reveal day, and then the teams after that are all random order. So I hope that answers that question. So it will be the day of, but it'll be the first email that's sent. So you're not sitting around all day wanting to know if you made that team, if it happens to be the last one that's sent. If an athlete has level 4 skills, will they be able to showcase them at a level 3 tryout? Yes, they can. They will. The coaches will ask them to show all their level 3 stuff, and then they'll say, "Hey, is there anything else that you want to show?" Yes, and then they can. Oh, I want to show my round of handspring layout, and they can show that layout. The question is, going back to this question just a second ago, is that the same for Worlds 2? You did not make it, goes out first on the day of. Yes, we send those. We've gone back and forth. Should we send it the first email, the last email, whatever we've settled on? It's the first email, and then that way, you're not sitting around waiting all day to find out and then disappointed at the end of the day. So, I'm sure there's never a good time to send that email, and I understand that, but I feel like that's the best option at this point. Okay, so when it says the athlete will throw their best level appropriate skill at tryouts, does that mean they will only do one tumble skill the whole tryout? No, they will do. The coaches will ask them to see. There's a checklist depending on the level of for summit teams. Not world teams is slightly different. I'll talk about that in a second. They will show there'll be a checklist. So they'll say, can we see your back walkover? Can we see your back walkover, back handspring? Or can we, depending on what level it is, can we see your standing tuck, your 2 layout, your running layout, whatever. So there'll be multiple skills that the coaches will ask to see, and then they will write out, check them off, what they did, what they didn't do, how they feel about it. And we are also videotaping all of this. So there's that. So they will do multiple skills. And then we're also super, super relaxed here. So if let's say they do a standing tuck, that's the skill that I'll use for today. They do a standing tuck and they put their hands down. Can I do it again? Absolutely. If they put their hands down again, can they do it again? Absolutely. If they need to do it 5 times, at some point there has to be hey, we got to move on. But we will let them do things because it can be nerve-wracking for the kids, and we want to make it as calm and relaxed as possible. So if people do mess up, and that is okay, there's things that we can even see when they mess up. So so please make sure your athlete knows to come in relaxed. Is there a list of stunts performed we could pick from? I don't know what they are called. No, we designate the stunts that they're going to do at the workouts and at the World's tryout, which I forgot the World's part of that previous question. So we designate and we will tell them at tryouts what skills that we only want to see certain ones, just to make sure that kids are not getting injured and everybody's being safe. Going back to the previous question, doing the tumbling skills at tryouts, at the World's tryouts, we ask them to do the best skills that they can. There's not a specific checklist, but they may do, the skills are very different as what they can show. So they may show multiple things, but bottom line, they'll be able to do as much as they need to do. We are trying out for a World's team this year. However, this will involve a relocation that we wish to only make for placement on a World's team. If you try out for a World's team, can you opt out of a Summit team if you do not make a World's team? If so, is there a tryout fee refund process for this situation? Yes to both questions. So you're trying out for a World's team and you don't make a World's team, and you don't want to move for that. Absolutely, that's not a problem. As long as you designate that at the beginning, then you will get a refund of the first installment. The actual tryout fee is not refundable, but the first installment that you pay, that big chunk, that is. Where we do not refund is if you say, I will cheer on any world's level team or any world's team, whatever, any team for that matter, you get placed on the team and then you immediately quit, then there's no refund for that because that child took a spot of someone else that would love to be there. So we really want to make sure that we're not taking spots from people that would love to be there. Okay. Are the pre-tryout workouts required for athletes who are not from the area? They are not required. If at all possible to be here, it's great because you get to meet the coaches, meet the other kids, make some friends, do all that. But absolutely, you do not have to come to them. I know that it is a absolutely busy time of year, especially if you are Summit, D2 Summit, that kind of thing. It's hectic to get back and forth, and we understand that. So no, it's not required. If by chance your athlete tries out for Worlds and does not make it, will they have an opportunity to try out for All-Star, which I think that means Summit? Will they have to do the tryout workout as well? So the tryout workouts for the Summit are during the World's tryouts. We're in different locations, so they couldn't go. If they're trying out for the World's tryout, they won't be able to go to the Summit workouts. I guess they could go on a different day, but they won't know that they didn't make a Summit. They didn't make a World's team until after the Summit workouts are over. So they would need to come back in for a regular tryout. And if you don't make a World's team, there will be instructions on how to sign up for that. And like I said, it's really important for them to come back in just so the coaches can see them. There is a lot of crossover between Summit coaches and Worlds coaches, but not all crossover. So you would like to get a fresh set of eyes on them to make sure that they know who they are and all that kind of good stuff.
I think also not to stress. The office will find them a spot.
Yeah, and don't stress about it. The office will get you taken care of. Will not be a problem. The tryout form is a bit confusing. That was the question that I talked about earlier. So it really should say, if yes, please circle what levels you accept on this tryout form. Either way, just make sure it's very, very clear what levels you will accept, so that we know when we're going through. And like I said, the tryout form will be what we go by. That is going to be not the conversation that you had in the parking lot, not the text that you sent your coach, not the, hey, she'd really like to be on Periwinkle. And if you're coaching that this year, please keep her in mind. And then that's, not the color shorts that they wear during tryouts, not any of that kind of stuff. What is actually here? That's going to be what we go by. So make sure that is accurate. Again, I recommend the kitchen table conversation with your kid and making sure that everybody is on the same page with that one. So anybody who has a stake in what's going on in this cheerleading, if it's mom, dad, aunts, uncles, whoever, grandparents, whatever, make sure everybody's involved. Okay. If we cannot make it to anything prior to the tryout date, live out of state, do we bring in the tryout form on the tryout day, or do we need to email it? Either is fine. You'll get your picture taken on tryout day, so you can just bring it that day. That's fine. Can you share the dates? Month and week is sufficient of all the out-of-state competitions for full year Summit teams. We don't know the exact competition schedule yet. We'll know that in June, but generally our traveling competitions happen in from January through the beginning of March. Could be later. I don't know. Let me back up. January through April, because the Summit is at the end of April into May. So you're looking at travel could happen in January, February, March, and then the end of April / May. But we won't know those exact dates until we're waiting on some stuff from event producers. And then we also have to make a decision based off of the program, that type of thing. Let's see. When will emails go out revealing teams? So once we are done with the teams, and we've gone through, we've got the practice schedule set up, all the coaches are assigned, we know where everything's going to go, we will start on the day that is listed in the tryout packet
May
for
16th for Worlds.
May 16th for Worlds and
May 22nd for full year non-travel and Summit.
May 22nd for full year non-travel and Summit. What time of day? We don't know yet. So there is it starts when it starts, and it is one team at a time. So please don't go to the office and ask. You just got to kind of hang out. I know that we've tried it a bunch of different ways. We've tried posting it online, and we've crashed websites. And we can't post it here because there's not enough parking for everybody to come. And so that's the easiest way for us to do it. We just got to make sure that we got everything finalized before we send out. And then if you follow our social media, Instagram will pop up and it will say, Periwinkle, your emails have been sent. So then you'll know, you can kind of follow what's been sent out by what's been listed on the Instagram page. So there's a graphic for every single team that gets sent out, and it is a full day process. So for that to happen. My daughter signed up for the jump and motion clinic to prepare for tryouts, but how will she be evaluated for stunning and tumbling? So the jump and motion clinic is a separate thing. They will be taught the motions, I believe, that they will do for tryouts, but that's just to get them prepared for the motion part of tryouts. The tumbling will happen at tryouts, and we will also be looking at them at the workouts that happen prior to. If they are a summit athlete, then they will do stunting at the workouts. If they are worlds, they will stunt at the workouts and at worlds tryouts. And if they're a worlds flyer, then they will have a separate worlds flyer tryout. All right, let's see. If your athlete is not chosen for a worlds team, do they still need to sign up and try out for summit teams, or are they automatically assessed for the summit teams? They will need to sign up for the summit tryouts. And then, like I said, the office will get you all taken care of and handle how to make that work. This person, I hope they're online and get to see this. They're poking me this morning. If your child tries out for full year non-travel and all the teams are filled, will she need to try out for full year, or will full year non-travel tryout work out for her as her full year tryout? Go Jackets. For those of you that don't know, I'm a University of Georgia graduate, and the University of Georgia is the greatest university in all the world. So this person's clearly starting trouble today. All right. If your child's trying out for full year non-travel, those tryouts happen kind of at the same time, so they will get placed in the appropriate spot. So that's not an issue. Can tuition be paid in full or in half and not monthly? Absolutely. Just contact Emily at the office and she will get you taken care of. Are there multiple tryout motions again this year? I think my daughter learned the easy one at the harder one last year. Can she switch to do the harder one since she wants to make a junior team again, or are they specific this year? So the tiny and mini will do the easier motion section, and then everybody else will do the other motion section. So there should only be two. Tiny and mini is going to be a little bit easier, and then the youth and older will do the other one. When will the tryout motions be posted? They will be posted after the last motion clinic. If my child is a flyer and has flown on level 4 the past year, but there is a page 2.
That is. No, that's it. Pull this one. My child is a flyer and has flown.
Okay. I got cut off here. If my child is a flyer and has flown on level 4 this past year, but not tumbled, and would hope to do that again, but only has standing 4 tumbling and not level 4 running, should she attend the 4, 5, 6 tryouts? Would it be possible for her to try out with level 4 standing and level 3 running there? Yes, absolutely. So they can, that's the exact tryout that they would need to attend to. So, all right, those are the pre-call questions. I'm going to go through over here and try to catch these ones in the chat. So, we have
2 more. A couple more coming in on that.
Okay. Is that the same for the Worlds too? You did not make it. Goes out the first day of. Yes. When we are announcing the teams, then you did not make a team is the first email that we sent. If someone wants to be considered to fly but hasn't flown in a few years, how would they be considered if they have no prior videos on flow sports? I would recommend them getting into some stunt classes and privates and attending the stunt clinics that happen. And then the stunt guys will also fill in all the coaches on how the flyers work in those classes, or in clinics, private, so forth. If a participant is 14 and falls into level 1, do you still recommend them trying out? Yes, we have a junior and senior level 1 teams for the last however many years. So there are definitely there's definitely a spot for folks that age. We are traveling right after school till June 9th. Will it be okay for them to miss the first few practices? Yes. So we in the tryout packet, there's a link to the absence request form. What you'll need to do is just as soon as you get on the team, fill out that form to let the coaches know that how long you're going to be out, and then go from there. So we just need to let everybody know everything as soon as possible. And I know a lot of kids have school cheer camp and that kind of thing that happens pretty early on. So that's normal for that to happen. Will there be a list of teams with levels to help parents kind of prepare for reveals? So in general, our team names stay pretty much consistent. There may be new, they stay sort of consistent. I would probably give it 80% because some teams will keep the same name, change divisions. Some teams will change divisions and change the name. It really is dependent on that team. And so I wouldn't go by strictly the way it's been this year, but that's a pretty good guide as to go by what it has been. And you can, the chance of platinum being medium junior 4 next year is pretty dang high. So I don't imagine that's going to be a team name that would change, but there is sometimes things that happen from here to there. So on the tryout form, the tryout reveal day form, it'll say the team name, the coaches, the level, the age, all that kind of stuff. So you'll have all that information right then. Let's see. Will the summit workouts be recorded? No. If I have a child that is only trying out as a flyer, will she also have to show those desired flying levels of tumble as well to be considered? No, but comparing a flyer with no tumbling, 2 flyers that are the exact same, as far as everything goes, and then the tumbling is the difference, that may be the difference is why one makes the team and the other one doesn't. So thank you for the Go Dogs. Just let me know what team you want to be on. We'll make sure that happens. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Will the jumps, motions portion of tryouts be with music or with just counts? We will probably use the 8-count track just because it gets our voices tend to die over Worlds and Summit, so it is a little hard to count over and over for those weeks and over all the people. So we'll probably use an 8-count track. I'm in Ashburn at Stingrays. I think you came to our gym for stunt camp. Well, that wasn't me, but I think some of well, hi, Isabel. I coached Emerson for several years. Yes, she was on Orange last year. Nice to see you, and hope you are enjoying Stingrays Ashburn, Virginia. Do you have a junior division for each level? Yes, this year we had junior 6, 5, 4, 3, a couple of 2s, and a 1. And again, that's been that way for several years. More teams at a particular I remember a couple of years ago we had 3 junior level 3 teams. So it really depends on how many people show up at tryouts with those skills with that age group. And we won't really know that until we actually get in there. But in general, we pretty much have a team at every age group and every level. How are stunting abilities evaluated at summit tryouts? They're going to watch those during the summit workouts.
And there's options for stunt clinics.
And there's options for stunt clinics along the way, and that's for flyers and for basing. So you just need to check with the office, and I think they've sent some graphics out with those dates and things. My child was on a level 1 youth last year. She was a base and has all level 1 tumbling. Could she sign up for the level 2 base tryout or just stay at level 1? Yeah, I absolutely. I think she could try out for the level 2 basing and just uh, see how she goes. It really depends on what the team needs and what her level 2 tumbling looks like and what the coaches feel. So, on the tryout form where the athletes list their last team, if they were on a Stingrays Marietta team under stunts, can they list all if they were in all the stunts, or how do you want that listed? Yes, that's fine. You can say program Stingrays Marietta team, periwinkle level 22 flew in all stunts, and then we will know that and can go back and check that and talk to the coaches and everything. If our 14-year-old daughter is a new cheerleader who wants full year travel but will accept non-travel, do you need to indicate that on the tryout form? Yes, please. So is there anything else we should know while considering team placement? Yeah, we're happy to be on full year non-travel or consider we're open to either one. So that would be where you put that. So is there anything we should know while considering team placement? So that's that question. Okay, I think we had a couple more come in on the link.
Will you be participating in the flex divisions?
Will we be participating in the flex divisions? We don't know until we actually get in and we know exactly how many people that we have on at every age and every level to be able to place teams. If we have the flex division, if we are in that, we will not be utilizing the 17-year-old to the 5-year-old for the junior division. That's wild, and we're not going to do that. So it would be strictly because we needed to make another junior medium-sized team, and that's the only way that we could do it without competing. Say we needed to make a junior flex level 4, which I'm not even sure if it goes to level 4, and we have platinum. So, and there was 30 kids that could be on this medium junior team, then we would do flex, but it would mirror the ages of the normal junior division because we don't want to put 2 teams in the same division. I hope that makes sense.
Okay. If we can we state on the form if we do not want to be in a flex division?
Yes, if there's anything that you want to, the question was, can you state on the form if you do not want to be in a flex division? Absolutely. If you say that you don't want to be on there and that's the deal breaker for you, then just let us know. We will absolutely anything that is that type of information. Please, yes, absolutely let us know.
If an athlete tries out for Worlds but is not placed on Worlds, when will they be notified? Is it before team reveals or do they wait that day as well?
So if a kid tries out for a Worlds team and they do not make a Worlds team, then they will. That is the first batch of emails that get sent on the reveal day. So basically, how that works is we. As soon as the last tryout is over on whatever time that is on this year, it's on a Tuesday night. So whatever time we send the kids home, they've done all their things, and we immediately go and start building these teams. And we will be here till who knows what time in the middle of the night, and then we come back and we start the very next morning, and we go nonstop until we have our Worlds teams built, and we rip them apart and build them and rip them apart and build them, and we talk through everything to make sure we're doing the best thing. And then as soon as that's done, we hand it off to the office, and then they start sending out the emails. So it's a pretty quick turnaround process. It's a long process for us, but it's pretty quick I know it probably seems longer for y'all to wait for the email, but yeah, the first batch of emails will be you did not make a World team or you did not make a team. So that will be the first thing that comes. If we've already turned in our form but need to revise based on what we've heard today, absolutely. Can we? Yes, absolutely. Just come in and they can fill out whatever you need to do. Are all of the stunt coaches that do privates involved in the team placement? The clinics fill up very quickly. I don't know that they're all in there, but all the stunt coaches are doing stuff. So they are, and we talk to them. So they may not be sitting there watching us pick every single team, but then the coaches do call them and speak to them and ask questions and things like that.
If the athlete has a planned cruise the first week in June, is that okay? June 2nd through 5th.
Yeah, just if you have an absence that's going to be right there at the beginning of the season, just as soon as you make the team, like I said, there is a link in the tryout packet that you can click on the absence request form. Please wait to do that until after you have gotten your team placement, because you're gonna, if you send that now and you just pick a random, I might get your absence request, and because you picked my team, but you're not, you don't cheer here yet. So it's not going to go to the correct coaches. It's not going to go to the correct team rep, that kind of thing. So we have to get a little bit of time to get those things taken care of. So give it a day or two after tryouts for that to all be updated. And then you can send that to the absence request form, and then the coaches will know. If we are coming from another Stingrays gym but don't know the names of the stunts performed, is that something you could look up? I think you mean as far as filling out this the stunts performed and on the tryout. If you will ask your child to help you fill it out, they know exactly what it's called, and we can also watch the videos from last year as well. Yes, so yeah, just if you can write the team name and the whatever, then your child should be able to tell you what their stunts are called, and it should be pretty basic, be the same terminology. Do you have any other ones? Mm-hmm. All right. I think that is all the questions that we have for today. We are going to do another one of these in May. I think May 7th. So it's popping in my head. Yes. Yeah. So we're going to do another call on May 7th that will talk about the actual trial. Oh, before we leave. Yeah. The workouts that are going to happen, I'm going to go over those really, really quick. When the kids come in, the process of the workout is going to be the same for the Worlds and the Summit tryouts. So the kids are going to come in, they're going to stretch as a group. They will get taught the jumps and the motions right then. And then we will break up into floors. Either if it's Worlds, we'll just arbitrarily group them and pull them to different floors. If it's the Summit tryouts, they will go by level. Some levels will be combined. So it just depends on where they are. They will look at their standing tumbling, their running tumbling, and then they will start stunning. And so that's where a lot of the stunt stuff happens. And the coaches will go over what stunts that there's only a specific stunts that we're going to want to see. So we're not asking people to do these crazy things that they've never done before. We're asking to see some basic skills. So that's the way it'll work for both the Summit and the Worlds workout. So again, we try to keep it low key and make it fun and relaxed for them so that they're not stressed out about that.
Meet the race will be Tuesday before the Worlds workout.
Yep. And what day is that?
May 6th.
And then on Tuesday, May 6th from 6 to 7, we have Meet the Rays. So if you would like to come in, you're new to Stingrays, you're new to a different age group, you only know your coach from last year, you don't know other coaches. If you'd like to come in, ask questions, the floors will be broken up by levels. And so we'll be able to go over, I'm going to go talk to level 3 coaches and just kind of ask questions. And if you have super specific things about your child, that would be a good time to talk to the different coaches, and you can get to meet everybody and ask any questions that you want. So that'll happen May 6th here at Marietta on from 6 to 7. So
if I'm a parent, can I come to Meet the Race?
Yeah, and that's for the parents. So and the kids. So you parents and kids come and ask questions and that kind of thing. So that's here to meet all the coaches and ask any questions that you have that be super specific for your kid. The next question that I have come in is, are you refunded if you do not make the team you want? So again, on the tryout form, if you say that I only want to be on a certain age and certain team level and you do not make that team, then we will not place you on a team. If we don't place you on a team, then you'll get refunded. If you get placed on a team and then you quit because you don't like that team, then you will not be refunded because you're taking the spot of someone else. That is why it is so important to make sure that this form is correct. So some of you may remember last year when there would be a discrepancy, we would come out and say, hey, your form says that you're only going to take level 3, but your kid just told me they'll take level 1 or 2. And then we would do like a green form and you would have to sign it. So we're making sure that that this form right here is what we are going by. So that's going to be the thing that's signed that everybody understands. So please make sure that you take your time and make it say what you would like for it to say. Okay, have a couple more questions come in. Can youth teams be flex teams? If so, what's the maximum age? I really don't anticipate us trying to use this flex division. If it's not going to be our first priority to fill that division. So it's not something I'm really pumped about, but if it has to happen, then we will look at it. If I don't know which way you're going with this question on what that maximum age is, but if that's something where you're considering for your kid, are they old enough to still be on that youth team? And that's something that you're interested in, then we can have a separate conversation or write on your form. Please call if it's a flex division, something like that, to go from there. I disagree with the whole concept of it. But if it's an opportunity for us to build 2 similar teams without using the extra ages, then that might be a possibility. I don't know how big of a possibility it is though. I don't want to rule out anything, but I'm not fired up about it. Will athletes have an opportunity to warm up on floor/rod floor before being evaluated? Absolutely. So during the actual tryout, when they come in, they're separated into groups and they warm up for a little bit before we start the tryout. And each tryout group is about 25 or 30 kids. So it's not this massive group that comes in. The way that we used to do it a long time ago, everybody would come in at 9 a.m. The whole gym would come in at 9 a.m. And some people would warm up from 9 to 9:30, but then their time wouldn't be until almost noon to do something. So that is that's why we keep it the really small groups. What body positions and skills need to be demonstrated at tryouts for a flyer? So depending on if they're trying out Summit or Worlds, we will tell them what the stunt skills that we'll see if they're trying out for Worlds flyer tryouts. We will tell them what body positions and skills we will do at the tryout. That's when we'll tell them. The basic heel stretch, bow and arrow, scorpion scale, there's nothing crazy. So there's not a secret body position, just the normal stuff. I would make sure that they're flexible on both sides, and then they have the ability to do the basic stuff for that level that they're doing. And it'll be kind of the same thing when flyers at Summit tryouts, when they come to do all their tumbling and stuff, the coaches generally do ask for their flexibility to see what they look like if they're trying out for a flyer. So have you gotten any more in?
Not that I believe.
Okay. All right. So one more time to recap, we'll do Meet the Rays on May 6th from 6 to 7. You can be a new Stingray. You can be an old Stingray. You can be whoever. If you want to come in and talk to a coach about your child, by all means, come on. And then we'll do another one of these that will go over the workouts a little bit more in depth, go over the tryouts a little bit more in depth, so that you're up to speed and you can let your kids know. And that will be May 7th at noon again. Thank you everybody for joining, and we'll see you the next time. Goodbye.